What's up, what's up, what's up to all my thriftinistas, my flipperistas, and my high fashionistas? It's your girl Goddess around me, and I'm going to show you how I flipped this petty t-shirt I got from shirtsfordays.com into this long sleeve fall type open back hot girl top. And like I said, I got this shirt from Shirts for Days. That's Shirts for Days with a Z.com. I'm going to start by getting a shirt that is fitted to me. That's a Nappy Happy shirt I got from motherskitchen.com. And I'm going to make sure that this top fits the way that I need it to fit. So I'm just cutting around the perimeter of my fitted tee, and I'm going to show you the next steps. Once we get that fitted to us, I'm just going to crop it. I'm going to cut it right on across, and we're just cutting that right on off. Goodbye to the bottom of that, but we're going to save it because we need it. To get the back out, to get the back out part, I am just going to eyeball it. You can try to measure this part, but I don't know how to tell you how to measure it. But I just did like a circular shape, a half circle shape, actually like a crescent shape, and I folded it over to make sure that it was perfect on both sides. And I'm just gonna continue to cut that out until we get the shape that we're looking for. And the next thing I'm going to do is flip this inside out, and I'm going to sew along those armholes right up under the sleeve and up to the point where we started to cut. We don't need to sew all the way down, but we only need to sew right up under that sleeve so we can make sure that that is closed. In the next step, we will be hemming the bottom of the shirt, and since it's only one side because we cut the back off, we're just hemming the front. We need to do this step first. This is what it should look like. We need to make sure we do this step first so that when we fold this part over, we're going to be able to attach our strings and have an opening for the strings to go through, because there is a tie in the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold over our fabric and try to get it underneath our presser foot, and also put that string under there. And I'm going to show you the string that I use in just a moment. I got this string actually from a consignment shop. I don't really know. It's like a stretchy, it looks like a shoestring, but it stretches. I have no idea what it's called, but I found it while I was consignment shopping, and I had to get it because it's like 100 yards of it. So I didn't cut this clip because I wanted you to see the struggle that I went through when trying to make sure that this was attached. This is why, if you're a beginner, you probably should use pins, but I don't like pins, so I would much rather struggle. So I only tacked it down at the top. I didn't tack the string down all the way through to the bottom because I wanted to make sure that when I pulled it, it gave me a bit of a ruched effect on the sides. So I only attached it at the top, and then I folded it over and made sure that the string was tucked neatly inside and was out of the way of my stitches. So I just tacked down the top, and I continued to sew along that line, and it was a struggle. This is why you should use pins. This is why you should use pins, but I'm against it. Okay, I'm an advocate for the no pin girls because I'm not using no pins. I only use them when I have to, and I probably should have used them here, but I'm hard-headed and I'm headstrong, and I didn't use no pins, girl. I just toughed it out and did what I needed to do until I got the stitch that I wanted. And then we're moving on to the next part, which will be, this looks like the front, but it's actually the back. Remember, we cut that out. So I'm folding that over, and I am showing you how I'm going to attach my elastic. I'm going to give you a close-up of this so you can see how simple this part should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the elastic to the raw edge first. So if you see here, I'm just sewing right along that raw edge. I'm just tacking it down, and then once I get done doing that part, because I'm going from one side to the other, once I get done doing that part, I'm just going to fold it over, and you'll see that in the next clip, and how I'm able to achieve a finished polished look without a serger, which is a big flex for me. I like being able to get finished professional looks without having a serger because I cannot afford a serger at this point in my life. So now I'm going to fold it over. You can see where it's attached. The elastic is attached. I hope you can see it because I barely can see it, and I'm folding it over and I'm stretching it a little bit to make sure that that hem is straight and not bunched up and messing up my needle or my presser foot. And that's going to be it for the back. And once we do all of those steps, you're pretty much done. And you can leave it like this if you would like it to be short sleeved, but I'm extra. This is where we can tie that up, and that looks great as it is. But like I said, I'm extra and I wanted long sleeves because it's getting a little chilly outside and I wanted to be able to wear this in the fall and winter months. So I'm taking some blue mesh that I got from Mood Fabrics, and I am taking the bottom part of that shirt that we cut earlier, and I'm going to cut off the hem of the original t-shirt because we don't need that. So I'm cutting that all the way off, and I recommend that you take your time and don't cut it all at once. Like, don't cut both sides at once because it'll leave it uneven. These t-shirts are not made even, and it will leave it uneven. I'm taking a jacket that fits me well so I can figure out what length I want my sleeves to be. And I got 18 inches. So I took that blue mesh and then I lined it up with the bottom of the original sleeve, and I measured out 18 inches, but I stopped halfway through that because I wanted like a mesh cutout type of deal. So once I got the length that I wanted for the mesh part, I went and I just made it look like the regular sleeve. What is the word that I'm looking for? I cut it in the shape of something. But you saw that, right? I can't think about it. But I did the same thing with the bottom of the sleeve. And I lined it up and made sure that it was 18 inches. And I gave myself about an extra 1/4 of an inch for seam allowance and for the hem. And I cut it into the shape of the bottom of the sleeve. See where I'm going here? So with the new pieces that I cut out, I need to make sure that they are attached. So I flipped over the white piece and flipped it over on top of the blue piece. Like so, like that, right sides together, so that when I'm get ready to sew it together, they'll be the right way. I really hope I'm making sense. I am just like kind of fuzzy brained right now. I've been having a horrible day, but I'm trying to get this done. So once I get them sewed together, I flip them over, right sides together again, and they initially make the bottom of that sleeve. So then I'm going to flip them over and sew down the open sides, right sides together. Once I get that done, I'm going to flip my t-shirt inside out. And I'm going to take the new sleeve that I just made, and I'm going to leave that right side out. Well, I'm flipping it right side out right now. And then I'm going to tuck that inside of the shirt, right sides together. And unfortunately, for things like this, I have to use pins. I have to use pins because we need that to be lined up. So the seam from the new sleeve and the seam from the regular t-shirt sleeve is going to be together, seam to seam, right sides together. And then we're gonna sew that down. And once we sew that down, we are pretty much done. We're gonna put a hem at the bottom of that sleeve and we're gonna be finished with it, ma'am. That's gonna be it. And this is the outcome. This is what it looks like once we get done. I love the open back. I love that the rolls are out, baby. I love that the fluffy girls are representing each other this summer. And I really appreciate you guys for coming through and hanging out with me to make this top. Let me know if you make it. Tag me. Tag me if you make this. And I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.